Good evening, everyone. My name is Isabel Yerger, and I'm the Vice President of the Art Deco Society of Washington. The Art Deco Society of Washington is a nonprofit organization incorporated to foster awareness, preservation, and appreciation of the Art Deco period in the Washington, D.C. area. Just want to mention a couple of upcoming events. Our annual meeting will be held virtually on December 11th at 6:30 p.m. Also, we will be hosting a holiday party on January 3rd at the Broadmoor in DC. Watch out for future details and streamlines and on our website and social media pages. We are delighted once again to have Terry Chappelle Boyd of the International Perfume Bottle Association join us once again for Art Deco Glamour in Compacts, Purses, and Vanity Treasures. Terry Chappelle Boyd collects and researches vintage perfumes, compacts, purses, and vanity accessories. Terry's main area of interest is Elizabeth Arden and the products from that cosmetics brand, though she also acquires other items as they speak to her heart. Terry has worked in sales and education within the cosmetics industry for over 40 years, and she values the history behind these items. So I know everyone is really going to enjoy this presentation, and if you have any questions or comments during the program, you can put those in the Q&A or in the chat, and we will address those after the program. Make sure that your volume is turned up, and like I said, if you are unable to watch the entire video, or if people haven't been able to make it, everyone will receive a video link to the recording in a few days. So without further ado, Terry, I'm going to have you take it away, and I'll be back after the presentation to monitor the Q&A. Thanks very much.
All right. Well, hello. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, Isabel. I want to thank the Art Deco Society for reaching out to learn a little bit about cosmetics, purses, and vanity treasures. I am a member of the International Perfume Bottle Association, and I've been a member for over 30 years. The IPBA was established to research, to learn, to share the history, uses, and significance of compacts, perfume bottles, purses, ephemera, and all related vanity accessories. And our community of collectors feel these pieces are works of art, and we enjoy sharing them with like-minded collectors. So thank you. This presentation explores the refined elegance of Art Deco style as expressed through these vanity items. We will uncover the origin, design elements, cultural significance, pardon me, and lasting appeal of these glamorous accessories. This is our guideline for tonight. We're going to start with defining Art Deco style and its influence, because I know sometimes we have people who are not as familiar as others. So it's a brief overview of really what Art Deco is, and then we're going to talk Art Deco compacts, design and functionality. We're going to review period makeup trends. We're going to look at other vanity accessories, and then we're going to discuss collecting and preserving these items today. Art Deco was an international and a revolutionary design movement. It influenced nearly every aspect, every area of creation, including furniture, fashion, jewelry, graphic arts, transportation, and of course, architecture. The Chrysler Building is probably the famous examples of Art Deco architecture. William Van Alden designed it. It was finished in 1930, and today, almost 100 years later, the Chrysler Building shines above New York City, and you can see the stainless steel panels on top. You can see the geometric patterns on all the triangular windows, the stylized gargoyles at the base. I mean, it is the epitome of Art Deco style. Art Deco emerged as a new design style in France around 1910, before World War I, and it thrived between 1919 and 1940. Art Deco style is defined by geometric shapes, rich materials, and bold motifs. And this is a sample card for a perfume, Nuit Romantique, and it checks all those boxes. The silver and gold ink the use of the perfume bottle. If you look very closely, you'll even notice the surface of the perfume bottle reflects a mirror in it. And with this movement, we know Art Deco is associated with modernism and fashion. Art Deco was a reaction against all the ornate curves of Art Nouveau. Its influences included geometry of Cubism, the decorative details of the Vienna succession, the vivid colors of Fauvism, and the Russian ballet, all of which contributed to the eclectic style of Art Deco. This is a perfume fan from 1925 from L.T. Piver. It's for Gerbera. And on the fan is the famous ballet and choreographer Nijinsky. And he is, of course, the blue god. And he is holding a perfume bottle in one hand and he's holding a rose in the other. So when we look at this lay style moderne or jazz moderne, the name Art Deco was not really used until the 1960s during a period of scholarly reappraisal. The term comes from the International Exposition of Modern and Decorative and Industrial Arts that was held in Paris in 1925. In fact, they've just celebrated the 100-year anniversary, and I understand the International Coalition of Art Deco Societies just held a centenary celebration for Art Deco in Paris. And if you're interested, you can look them up on the web. The French government organized this exposition to showcase the new modern style of architecture, interior decoration, furniture, glass, jewelry, and other decorative arts in Europe and worldwide. Many international avant-garde ideas of architecture were really presented here for the very first time. The event did take place in Paris, over 57 acres on both banks of the Seine. It featured 15,000 exhibitors. They all had their own pavilion. They came from 20 countries. And in its 6-month run, the Art Deco exposition attracted over 16 million visitors. The exposition was a huge success, captivating audiences with its breadth of design. And the exposition closed on November 8th, 1925. And that's over 100 years ago. And we are still enamored with Art Deco, including Art Deco design and cosmetics and perfume. This 1925 ad shows the grand prize winners at the International Exposition of Modern, Decorative, and Industrial Arts. And you'll see there's 3 fragrances and there's a little compact and lipstick in the top hand corner. And they won the grand prize for their categories. The key characteristics of Art Deco: we recognize geometric shapes. We know ancient and non-Western civilizations were an inspiration. There was hand craftsmanship and lavish ornamentation and stylized figures. If we take and look at each of those differently, geometric shapes, we know the geometric orientation. The artist drew inspiration from Cubism. And then they were using repeating shapes such as zigzags and chevrons and triangles and squares. And this pink compact is from the Elgin American Manufacturing Company in 1930. And you can see it embodies all of those elements. When you look at all the different cultures that influenced Art Deco, Egyptian was huge, and I think a lot of that was because of King Tut's tomb being opened in about 1920 through like 22. But there was also Japanese, Chinese, Indian, and African art. This is actually, it's a proof page for tops to powder boxes. Most powder boxes back in the 20s were made of cardboard. And so these were gold embossed Tunt Mania from 1908, and you'll see those little marks. That was for centering them on the top of the powder box. Talk about craftsmanship right here. With craftsmanship, We know decorative objects like furniture, textiles, and jewelry, they were handmade. With industrialization, these elegant designs began to become available as mass produced items. This is the cover of a magazine called Fashionable Dress. And the dress you're seeing actually used silver poppies from a fragrance campaign for Roger and Gallet. And this poppy was designed by Renee Lalique. You can even look on this lady's dressing table, which was a very big part of a woman's life in the 20s and the 30s. And you can see the perfume and some of the cosmetic items as well. Lavish ornamentation. This irregularly shaped compact features turquoise guilloche. It's got a central flower. Look at the work done on it. All of it is surrounded by ivory, by black enamel with scrolls and silver. It came in a satin-lined presentation box from Gabriel's Jewelers and Opticians in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Um, the early compacts were actually made by jewelers. Attention to detail. And this compact right here shows you all of these put together into one compact. Stylized figures. The Art Deco artists you frequently created elongated, stylized depiction of the human body, especially the female forms. But there were also animals, foliage, sun rays. And this is a postcard from Musso. It's from Italy. And the title of it is Flower of Smoke. It's a fantasy theme with a nude in the smoke. And the label on the vase tells us it's the logo of Musso, the lady on the horseback. So we know who it is. Decorative arts were central to the Art Deco movement. Artists like Erte with his fashion drawings of women in furs and jewels, and George Barbier created elegant images of women. This particular advertisement page from the Gazette des Bon Ton Art shows us a woman of the period. Look at her hat. Look at the feathers from her hat. Look, she's holding a compact in her hand. She's got a handbag. It's just all these elements shows this whole glamour of this period in time. As you can see, Art Deco, it transferred everyday objects into works of art, especially for these personal accessories. They actually became canvases for the bold patterns, metallic finishes, the luxurious materials, reflecting Art Deco's era of modernity and elegance. These accessories not only served a practical purpose, but they embodied the glamour and sophistication that defined fashionable individuals of that time, such as this lady here. And this is a stencil that was made for Carl and Company. And I love it because she looks so glamorous. She's holding the powder. She's looking in the mirror, making sure she's ready to go. And it's just everything about Art Deco. Now, as we talk compacts, compacts hold powder. Women have worn powder for thousands of years. So we really need to have a little history lesson. So when we look at makeup, this particular advertisement, you can see the lady is again at a dressing table getting ready. She's got her hair, the feathers, she's putting on makeup. Well, this was 1928, all right? But yet we know that makeup has been found in Egyptian tombs. Ancient Egypt is really considered where the roots of cosmetics started. They've analyzed these cosmetics and they find they're 2,000 years old. And everyone in Egypt wore makeup, men, women, rich, poor. There were three reasons people wore makeup. The first one, I always add vanity. Okay, everybody likes to look good as this Nefertiti bust. You can see the eyeliner, and that's a real graphic that everyone thinks about. But not only for vanity, they used it as protection against the environment. You're talking Egypt, boiling sun, insects. The third reason was religious rituals. and other civilizations, Romans, Greeks, Japanese, Chinese, they all used makeup for protection, religious ceremonies, and beauty. And the use of face powder has contributed to beauty standards throughout history. A whitened complexion with this beautiful, flawless look signaled a woman of high status. In the Elizabethan era, face makeup was used to conceal illness and bad health. Queen Elizabeth I used white lead makeup. Some of these products were very deadly, but she used it to cover her smallpox scars and for maintaining her youthful look. In fact, makeup was so popular that in 1770, British Parliament, they passed a law which annulled marriages if a woman wore cosmetics before her wedding day. Now, in the Sun King's court over in France, King Louis XIV established beauty standards where cosmetics signified status and power. Makeup was integral for both men and women, and this is a point of purchase sign from Temptation in the 30s, 1933 to be exact, and it's marked Hollywood's central prop. So somewhere it was used, I guess, in a movie. Women in the early 1900s, however, they did not wear makeup. Makeup was mostly worn by actresses and prostitutes. Eventually, a little bit of rice powder became a little more acceptable. They usually applied it with a swan's down puff, like you see with the lady in this 1931 calendar for Xanol, which is a cosmetic line. And people begin to use cosmetics a little more regularly. Early makeup developers, including Helena Rubinstein and Elizabeth Arden, they produced skincare products, powders, and lipsticks that attracted an international market. Cosmetics for women of color during this time were also in production, with the first face powder for African American women created by Anthony Overton in 1898, and it's called the High Brown Face Powder. With social change in the 1920s, women gained new freedoms, such as right to vote, access to college, more time outside the home. There were more modern appliances. During World War I, women entered the workforce so the soldiers could go off to war. Many stayed in the workforce after the soldiers came home. Cosmetics like powder compacts and lipsticks became common in their handbags for everyday use. With the spirit of this new generation, eager to embrace new freedoms and a unique sense of glamour, and with makeup now an established part of daily life, compacts became prized accessories. Art Deco aesthetics did transform these everyday objects into works of art. Compacts from the Art Deco era combined aesthetic appeal and practical design, reflecting the style's balance of form and function. Compacts of the Art Deco era featured new novel mechanism. You may not have noticed from those early compacts from the late teens and early 20s, they were simply brass boxes and the powder would go everywhere. So they worked on new closures for the compacts. They worked on using a sifting process. So you're going to be seeing some patents here. In fact, this is a patent for an Evans compact that you will see later on. They also begin to use enameling rather than a brass compact. They would do enameling on these compacts and make wonderful designs. They begin to use new materials, silver and celluloid, bakelite. They were all used. Brands such as Evans, J.M. Fisher, Societe Montreal, and this one from Elgin American Manufacturing, they created sought-after compacts. And collectors prize these rare designs and pieces by these renowned makers for their craftsmanship and their beauty. And with the chain, you could wear it on your wrist and you could carry it around with you. This tiny little compact is one of the original compacts. They were about an inch high and they were so tiny you could drop them inside your glove. And that's why they were called glove compacts. That's how you carried them and you could take them out. And there was a little puff in there. These tiny little compacts are works of art. They were hand painted, and it's very hard today to find one with the intact original paint. Love this design of this girl in the wind and her hat's blowing away. Early Art Deco compacts were brass but impressed with deco designs. And then they begin to add a little bit of lacquer, as in these blue rose compacts, where they've taken the blue lacquer on the roses in the middle of this Art Deco line design. Compacts not only had geometric ornamentation, they were geometric. They were octagonal shaped, a big form for the Art Decos. And they would take an everyday brass compact and then add the enameling and the linear design like these Ardenettes from Elizabeth Arden. And at the same time, the cases now also begin holding rouge or maybe a lipstick. Richard Hudnut is known for his compacts, but he's actually a perfumer. This particular late debut compact was for the opening of the Hudnut Perfume Salon in Paris in 1927. The names on the powder compacts mirrored a line of perfumes as you see in this box set here. There were four perfumes in four colors. And if you see the ad on the left for Les Debut, each of the women is wearing a gown in that perfume's color. And you've got the compact in your set, and you can see two other sets here in the advertisement. This is the Evans Tap and Sift, and this is the compact, the patent that I showed you, that there was a mechanism that would help sift the powder, which meant it wasn't clumpy, it was very fine and very smooth and could look almost invisible. Societe Montreal is a French firm. They produce exquisite compacts, and these are from their geometric series in 1929 and 1930. These compacts were called powder watch because you can see the little stem over on the right side. There was a small wheel on the exterior of the compact where it would sift the powder up. And here's the patent for the Montreal sifter for the powder watch. And then on the right, you see an elegant Art Deco ad showing the woman putting on her rouge, putting on her powder. It has the lipstick, shows the compact. We love our advertisements because they help us date things. This is a 1930 ad. We know they came out in 29 and 30. Marathon made great compacts, and this irregularly shaped one is in super shades of black and red and orange and yellow, and it's got the floral inserts. Now, when I saw this, it made me think of the elevators from the Chrysler building. And when you look at them, they both have the same design elements. This is a deer compact from Riche Osh Company, and it has that same sort of geometric design. This Elmo compact has symmetry, geometric patterns, and ornamentation. It was about 2 inches in diameter, which is about the size of that time. There were some smaller, very few bigger. The colorful triangles in the middle, those are enameled triangles on celluloid. And the back of the compact has silver plate geometric designs. This rectangular silver compact has a nice little tassel. And the tassel had a purpose because you would use the tassel and you would pull the tray out, which would cause the mirror to pop up. And you could powder your nose and then push it all back in again. This Elgin compact has all the bells and whistles of Art Deco. We love this rectangular compact with the aqua and the silver plate lines and the orange circles. And you may have noticed the last couple had chains. This one, the chains are enameled if you look really close. These are called dance compacts due to the chain handle, which you just put on your wrist and you could carry it with you. Love this. Look at those rays from the sun. A frequent ornamentation. This ad for Elgin tells us fit for a queen. And we've got a wonderful red and cream and silver compact that's depicted in the ad. This ad right here tells us that these compacts were $1.39 in 1930. Here are more fit for a queen compacts. I love the yellow and the black. And what do you think about the yellow and the black on the blue background? Now, while Elgin was fit for a queen, the Evans Company advertised the line with the sterling touch. And any of these 9 Art Deco high style enamel compacts would be a collector's dream. The ad depicts these compacts in an advertisement by E.L. Rice and Company in 1930. This particular irregularly shaped Evans compact, it is silver plate. It's got those receding red arrows that give it a little additional flair. It came in other combinations, including lavender with black and blue with black. This rectangular compact features the black, the white, the deep red, surrounded by the sterling silver. And then we have the leaping gazelles. We have them on a silver compact on your left, and on the right, you have it in Bakelite with a silver trim. Now, we've seen a lot of metal compacts, but they also came in leather. This compact from Mondane is called a vanity book. It opens like a book. You can see you can have the powder and the rouge, but what I think is unique about it is look at that octagon, that little gold octagon. There's a little thumb piece. You open it up, and inside, and that's over here to the left, you've got the lipstick that you can just pat on, and there's a tiny little mirror. Here's another luxurious leather compact, and it's by Charmant. Now, I've been showing you mostly American compacts, but here's one from P.T. Piver in France. They actually were one of the founding houses in French perfumery, and they did have fragrances at the Paris Exposition. This Coty compact, brightly decorated with swirls and orange and green and the snake-like pattern. When I look at this Coty design, I see the auditorium and stage of Radio City Music Hall in New York City by Edward Durrell Stone and Donald Dusky, 1932. Austria. The craftsmanship on Austrian compacts is legendary, as is this Art Deco enameled design. Here is an Austrian Deco cloisonné. And then we have this intriguing compact from Nolly from Portugal. Is it sun? Is it sea reeds? I don't know, but it's definitely Deco. Ripley and Gowan were jewelers in Massachusetts, and they made these irregularly shaped compacts. You've got a lilting listing village in yellow on the green compact. And then look at the geometric design in black and white and green and orange, metal and enamel with finger rings. J.M. Fisher is known for their enameling. It's a Massachusetts company, and they make some highly collectible compacts. They often gave them names. This is actually called Orange Boat. Looks like it's approaching a castle on a hill. They also have Robin Hood, Cat Black, Knight on Horse, and then we have Polo Girl and Viking Bold. Too bad we can't find them for the 1930s price of $4.88 a piece. This 1930 J.M. Fisher ad, you can see Polo Girl down in the right-hand corner, but you can see the breadth of designs from Fisher right here. Now, England also made compacts. This is Soiree. It's from London. This gold and black and cream compact features a lady. She's got slender fingers. She's holding a fan in a compact. Women were common subjects for compacts. Compacts did not have to be enameled to be fabulous, as is this American Beauty compact. Here is another Fisher compact. It's a two-color enamel, Nude by the Ruins. Vacher. It was made by the J.V. Pilcher Company from Kentucky, manufactured these compacts. And they love nude women. This one, look at the design of radiating lines on silver and black. Look at this nude from Vacher. Richard Hudnut also made compacts. Look at the opposing profiles, one in blue, one in white. With this Tango compact, it's a Tango compact because you see that lipstick in there and the little finger ring. Again, you could take it while you're dancing, but that's the name that we've given to those compacts with the lipstick powder and the rouge. Here's a Deco enamel face from Hudnut. And then look at the faces in profile on the Societe Montreal compact in the high Art Deco style. Now, the word crank doesn't bring to mind makeup or face powder or femininity, but for those familiar with them, they were very popular in the state of Minnesota. But the profiles of these two women, one in silver, one in black, are very collectible. This rectangular compact, you've got a woman on the left, a man on the right. We know that it's chrome and celluloid. We know the colors are steel and chocolate brown. We do not know who made this compact, but it's very well made. It's exquisite in designs, and I've decided I'm going to call it Love at First Sight. Here's another Fisher, Woman Carrying the World, from 1931, a novel concept for that time. Montreal, some more powder watch compacts. Look at the dancers on stage. And then here we have a couple dancing. And look at the musicians over on the left. High Art Deco styles. When we look at Art Deco, these are all activities. One thing we haven't talked about is cars, and the Stratton compact with a white enamel background features this flapper in a gold coat posing in front of a gilded 1920-30 car with a Landau top. Speed was tops. Woodworth made a line called Caress, and these two unusual compacts have celluloid and silver. Love the art lady on the left with the red rose and the red lips. And look at the sailing ship and sunset. Woodworth is known for their graphics and their advertising. So I've added this. It was an original store sign with folding panels that actually had the perfumes on it. but it's a great representation of Art Deco. When we talk about the various cultures affecting compacts, this is Mary Wiley. I think you probably know by now that's J.M. Fisher. You've got Japanese women in a garden setting. And here's a society Montreal with a Japanese scene on black ground. Here, three Japanese women are participating in a tea ceremony. Look at it, it's got the little enameling, the stones. Look at the work on the brass. Simply fantastic. Egyptian was very popular. Ramesses was a line of perfumes in Paris. And in 1923, they issued this compact. You can see it's got an Egyptian woman holding a blossom in one hand, a perfume bottle in the other. You can see the Giza pyramids in the background. The writing on it means true Egyptian powder. It was a very short-lived life for this compact. Very desirable. This stunning set right here, it's probably German. It's enameled silver and gilt. It's around 1925. And you can see you have your Egyptian women. One is holding a compact and the other is holding a perfume bottle. Architecture was also on these compacts. This is Cats of Paris, where you see the Paris skyline. But if you look over to the left, you'll see two black cats facing each other. Pets were a common theme. This is Woman Walking a Dog by Marathon. These are two Scotties walking. Don't you love that one's black and one's white? Scotties were a popular motif in this period. They were inspired by FDR, who had a Scotty dog named, I believe, Fala. Or you could have Tippy, a vanity case, meaning it had rouge lipstick and loose powder. But this is another J.M. Fisher compact, and you can tell it because of the complex enamel work. This white enamel and gold metal compact is stunning with the leaping gazelles by American Beauty. Yes, it's a true beauty. This stork on a Montreal compact is very deco. How about a flamingo in silver in the reeds? It's a compact by Van Style. Look at the lacquer on this, or the enameling on this. It's gorgeous. I've included the gray compact on the right with I believe there's cypress trees with the moon, but I did it because the silver work was very similar. We don't know whose it is. I don't think it's Van Style, but I just love seeing the styles, all the different styles that are being represented. We have a gorgeous butterfly. Hmm. Hold on a minute. I'm stuck.
It's not advancing, Tammy.
No,
Can you go back one slide?
I'm trying. And this hasn't not happened. Let me, hmm,
Could you go to the beginning and then return back to that slide?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Ah, nope. I'm going to stop my share. I apologize. Bring this up.
It happens. We have tech problems sometimes.
It's the Northern Lights. I understand they're in full force. All right. And now I've lost you. Okay. We're going to share. We're going to, sorry, my extreme apologies. I really do not know what happened here. Hmm. Take a break. Go get a drink of water. Where's my mouse?
Well, at least it's advancing, so that's a good sign.
Yes, I'm really am not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, I've never seen
But
that.
we're rolling with it
That's right.
because we've got some more goodies. All right. Okay. We were on this. Here we go. Tippy, American Beauty, the stork, this Australia. Okay. Austrian Butterfly Compact. Look at the detail on this. Look at the craftsmanship. Look at the ornamentation. I mean, it's got silver, it's got metal, it's got enameling. This actually came in 5 colors. What a wonderful set. This is a unique compact. It's celluloid. It was basically tube shaped. There was a push-up knob, which caused the blades to pop out and spread. And then the inside had loose powder, and it was made in Germany, and it was patented. And the fan came in marble, blue, gold, red, tortoiseshell, and amber colors. All right. Compacts have been used for years as souvenirs. This actually is an LT Piper brass compact that he made for the exposition. And I think it's the epitome of compacts for the Art Deco collectors. It's very simple, but they are widely used. And I'm going to show you a few, starting with the Chicago World's Fair. It was called the Century of Progress. And it went on, it started in 33, the heights of the Depression, but FDR extended it, and they had 49 million visitors in the 2 years they ran. And there were lots of souvenirs sold. The good news on our end was they included vanity items such as compacts, purses, and even hankies. So we've got this one. This has the skyline of Chicago in 1933. And then we have this red one, which is kind of like the leather one that has the lipstick in the front. You just open the little door and there's the powder, there's the lipstick and there's the mirror. Now, in 1936, Texas held their Texas Centennial, and they actually produced quite a few compacts. Look at the graphics on this. It's true Art Deco with a little exposition symbol. Love these, the guilloche. Look at the bright colors. Look at the bold patterns. And this is a Gary compact. Now, Gary was known for this style of compact called a camera. And it's called a camera because if you look at the compact, you see the lady, you see her face, it's a portrait, you see the rays from the sun coming out. But look at the button in the right-hand corner here. When you push that button, the mirror popped open. And they did quite a few souvenir compacts. What makes this one very special, you turn it over, and on the other side is the emblem from the Texas Centennial. So there's all kinds of goodies to be found. But if you like cameras, I'm actually going to show you a figural camera compact from the 1920s. It's French. It says Vanity Kid. We call it a figural compact because it's shaped like a camera. And it included the compact, which is like the lens. Okay, you can see it has the lipstick. It has the perfume atomizer. It's chromed metal. It is faux snakeskin, but it's 2.25 inches wide. Isn't that tremendous? You know, Art Deco compacts are still being sold today. Uh, I see them on new compacts, but this Estee Lauder release from 2004, they released a set of 12 enameled compacts from the series of illustrations from Urte's 12 zodiac signs. And I've got a picture up close here of the Aries one so you can see the detail. So we've seen a lot of different styles of compacts. Let's move on to vanity items and accessories. Beyond compacts, Art Deco vanity items and accessories showcased exquisite artistry, and they reflected the social customs of the time. One of the customs was the woman sitting at the dressing table, and you've seen quite a few advertisements for that today. In this one, we see a woman, she's applying lipstick, and the words down here are in Italian. It's an Italian card. It means lipstick vermilion. And she's sitting there and she's looking, did I get it on? Is it perfect? Am I ready to go? Using vanity items allowed women to express their identity and style uniquely and creatively. When you looked at their dressing tables, it was adorned with objects, and you've seen that on some of the pictures. One thing that was very popular were dresser sets. And I don't know if you can see real well the little ribbon, it says French ivory. French ivory refers to celluloid, a synthetic plastic that was developed in about 1860s. And it was a very popular material used for these dresser accessories, which contained brushes and combs and mirrors and hair receivers and nail files and cream boxes. Here is a beautiful blue celluloid 9-piece vanity kit. It even has your toothbrush and a place for the toothpaste. Not only would they have their dressing sets, they might have a powder jar, such as this Renee Lalique, one in pearls. This was a common motif for Lalique. Or you might have something like this 1925 extravagant French powder box of cardboard and porcelain. It's a half doll. And look at the tinted feathers. Or you might have a glazed piece of porcelain, in this case, a sultan, a man in an orange turban in a reclining seated position. He's holding a swan's down powder puff with the head of a woman wearing an exotic headdress. Now, most powder boxes were cardboard, maybe a little bit of metal. And this Ubagant powder box, don't you love the angular design in 3 parts? I've included the ad for Bois Dormant, which translates to sleeping wood. And I love that the ad says Parfum Trace Moderne, very modern. Yes, the ad is very modern, as is the powder box. Francois Coty is probably not a new name to you, but he's known for his powder. This is actually a little sample powder box, and this famous graphic design has been attributed to Renee Lalique. However, there's little documentary evidence for it. But this little tiny powder was marked sample, and it's marked complimentary sample. And the scent used was L'Origine. And this powder sample was mostly distributed in the United States. This powder set of powder box, powder compact, and rouge compact, they all feature the René Lalique fountain from the 1925 Paris exposition. Fanchon is a line by Palmolive, and Palmolive was primarily a soap maker, but I don't think I've ever seen a soap box or a powder box that is quite as wonderful of a floral graphic as this one. Fétis or Fetish, a, a line by L.T. Piper, again, very popular French perfumer. Um, Look at the black and gold squares. Look at the orange circles. Everything you want in your Art Deco powder boxes. Sylviane Violet Powder has another woman, and I love her scarf, and she's holding a mirror, and she just looks like she is just ready to conquer the world. Women did wear violet powder. In fact, might wear several shades of powder to contour their face or to add a little bit extra beauty to them. It was quite common during that time. So go figure. People are using colored things now. They were doing this in the 20s. I do love this Hija cold cream face powder. I think the woman is marching down the streets. The sun is beaming for her. What I love most of all, this is a line from Memphis, Tennessee. Here's a crank powder with the silhouettes of the ladies' faces, black, silver, and cream. Here are two more ladies' faces on powder compacts. You've got one by Colgate. It's bouquet powder, and it was made in Mexico for the Colgate Palmolive Company. The powder on the right is an Atkinson's USA, and it's almost like a dream woman. It's like she's back in that little flower of smoke from the ad we saw earlier. Two more women compact. We've got Ritzy Girl Powder Deluxe. We do not know the maker. And then we have the La Étoile de la Dame de Beauté from France. Again, the silhouettes of their faces. This Gibbs powder is just tremendous. The lady, the green skirt, the birds. Look at the ad for this. Too bad it's not in color, but I love the black, the gray, the white. It's just the perfect marriage of Art Deco. Vennard's tagline was Vennard requisites for youthful beauty. And you've got the two nymphs dancing. Look at the floral motifs. Look at the gold here. It's even encircling the sides in heavy relief. Or what about these Art Deco stylized flowers on this powder box from Portugal? Here's some flowers from Spain in a white urn. This is a circular powder box from Italy, and it has Egyptian motifs. You've got a female pharaoh with a headdress and other motifs. Cleopatra from Seville, Spain. Bertelli from Milan. Look at the triangular label. You've got a sphinx with a woman's face. She's wearing makeup and lipstick. Richard Hudnut also made an Egyptian sachet, and sachet is more like a body powder than a face powder. So Chrysis was the name of the powder, but look at the Egyptian goddess Isis with her outstretched wings. Great graphics. This rumba black powder box is in sarcophagus shape. It's got a padded lid. It's decorated with the Egyptian figures and gilt, and It's by the Bonafide Company from Iowa City, Iowa. It's a very desirable powder box. Here's some Japanese face powder boxes. The one on the left is milk glass. The one on the right is an unopened paper box. And on that box, it says foundation powder. And it translates to mean flowers in the imperial pot. And look at those stylized flowers. The milk glass one actually holds white powder for geisha makeup. And the person who lent these to us, she said, "You know what? I found these in Hawaii." She goes, "These are like pre-World War II. How in the world did these survive the war?" Boy, we are sure glad they did. Dreamer powder from I'm sorry, from Valencia, Spain. Again, stylized, flowered. Look at the woman in her dress. We're going to see another compact box, powder box by Nolly from Lisbon. Benamor, love the blue and the black. They also did a very popular fan-shaped powder box. Serio Luxury, it means luxury series, probably refers to the rice powder, but I think it refers to the five-piece set that you could get. We know that women used powder puffs. We saw some earlier. I'm going to show you just a few more. This is a French powder puff. Innovations in technologies improved the designs, and this one is on a black and white plastic wand, plastic handle. It's in black, got a satin back to it. Look at the presentation box. It imitates colorful tiles. If you wanted to carry the powder with you, you would use a pli. Pli means to fold. This is a houppette pli. Houppette means a small puff in French. And to reveal the puff, you'd unscrew the top and you'd push up, and little wires attached to the swan's down would expand. And then you would put on the powder that you had put in your pli and freshen up your face. The designs on their cases are incredible. I only showed two, but there are many, many more. Look at the rhinestones and the green. Look at the yellow floral motif. This one's down powder puff is a Scotty, a celluloid Scotty doll. Now, we've been talking powder and at the dressing table, but what happened when you left the dressing table? Where would it be a woman without her purse? And this woman swinging on the moon most certainly did not forget her purse. This is actually a Vogue magazine cover from 1917, and don't you love it? All Art Deco. When women left the dressing table, they may take with them a nécessaire. A nécessaire were also called dance purses. These are French, they're celluloid. You see rhinestone, you see silk tassel, you see the wrist strap. The black one on the left even has a metal compact hiding in the tassel. They were known as nécessaire. It was necessary. You need to take it with you to buff up your face. This dance purse is only 3.5 inches. Plastic, metal, glass, 1920s. Applied silver design, coral glass beads, fitted satin interior, beveled mirror. It is exquisite. This Monodier is a black enamel design on sterling silver. You open it up. It contains 3 compartments. It's got a pencil. You can see the lipstick hiding in the tassel. This was made by the German designer Louis Joppenheim. It is silver and marked 925 with hallmarks. Very yummy, as I like to say. Now, this leather handbag does scream Art Deco. Look at the silver frame. Just look at the way they've done the leather. Look at the coin purse. That's part of the middle of the bag. That was a very common design at this time. It was only 9 inches across. It's more of a clutch. You hold it with your hands. Here is a German beaded abstract, and beaded bags were very, very popular. This is by Marie Zwingauer. It's from Munich, Germany in 1928 to 1930. Great designs. Look at all that beadwork. How long did it take them? This particular beaded bag is done in the style of Wiener Werkstatt. It's either German or Austrian. I say style. It's not Werner Werkstatts, but it's in the style when you look at the graphics and the styling of them. It was made of micro beads, and those are very, very tiny beads. So how long would it take to make this handbag? This evening bag has a 10-karat gold enameled frame with marcasites. Look at the carved coral knobs. I mean, look at that enamel work. It's a signature of Jane Safadi. And what she did is she made the body of the bag from antique, in this case, 18th or 19th Persian brocade with metallic thread. Incredible Art Deco. But I said, oh my gosh, she was the first upcycler. She's using vintage materials with all this enamel work to create these exquisite bags. Here is a black satin clutch with bold blue and black stones encircled by marcasites. Look at the thumb piece where you open the bag. Or look at this black suede clutch. There was a little strap on the back that you could put it through your fingers. This is sterling silver and marcasites on the handle and on the toggle. Look at the pattern of those marcasites with the onyx stones. Craftsmanship deluxe. This black velvet purse again uses the marcasites. Look at the detail, look at the design. It has a chalcedony thumb piece. It has a handle. It's not a clutch, and that means it's probably later 30s. Mesh was extremely popular. This is a handmade mesh purse made by a jeweler. It has a French export mark. If you look closely at the frame, see it's two snakes. They're biting into an enameled bead. And this German sterling mesh purse. Black enamel on the frame, thumb clasp with a green stone. Here is an Egyptian silver mesh bag, a sphinx on each edge of the frame, a lotus blossom on the frame top. This is a close-up, and we know it was done by a silversmith. It was Blackington, and we know that because it has the bee with the sword through it. He's from Massachusetts. Next is another Deco Egyptian mesh bag. Again, look at the Sphinx. It's got a real amethyst thumb piece, peridot, cabochon, emerald snake eyes. And this is a beaded Egyptian bag. The scene on the bag is from a painting found in King Tut's tomb. We know a woman, maybe his wife, is offering him a lotus blossom. Is it a ritual? Is it a religious ceremony? I don't know. I just know it is simply stunning. Novelty bags were very popular during this time. We talked a little bit about cars and speed. Can you imagine carrying an 11-inch long car under your arm? It is a clutch. There is a zipper where the hood is. Here is another red novelty car. It is German. It's 1930s by George Ruff. The mirror. Do you see what looks like the door? Open that snap and there's a mirror right underneath the snap. George Ruff also made a plain purse. We're on the lookout for that. Hint, hint. This black and red and silk glass beads silver bag. The bag was designed by Ada Grunfeld. The frame by Stockard and Company for John Wanamaker in Philadelphia. Sterling hallmarks. Its provenance is London, England, Vienna, and Philadelphia, USA. Quite stunning. Whiting and Davis has been making mesh bags for over 100 years. They made their first bag in 1892. These bags were all handmade, but they were very popular. And by 1912, Whiting and Davis had invented a machine to automate the mesh making process, coveted by flappers, actresses, women everywhere. The early purses were metal. And in this case, I love that this is one of those that has the compact in the frame. But looks what happens, and there's the patent right there for the bag. Look what happens when you have Art Deco aesthetics and this pink and black and white Whiting and Davis mesh purse. This one is exquisite. The colorations, the design. Look at the enameled frame that match the coloration on the bag, and look at the diagonally shaped bottom. This Whiting and Davis bag has an open work filigree frame design. And if you look at the bags, all the frames are a little bit different. This rare 1930s Whiting and Davis colorful mesh purse with grain Bakelite frame and rigid handle is a true treat for the eyes. Other vanity items that we're just going to talk about are lighters. This is actually a table lighter by Elgin American. Could be on her dressing table, could be on her coffee table. Lighters were a very popular accessory. Combs were very popular for the women in their hair. This is a mantilla comb. It's actually from about the 1910s, but the spider and the web, that's all a little more Art Deco. There are enamel details on this. No, it's not a lighter by Ronson. This is a perfume atomizer. And these were very popular from the 30s to the 1950s. You could wear your compact and an Art Deco steel polished chrome metal bracelet, or one in Bakelite and metal. Look at the lipsticks on either side of where the powder is. And this particular bracelet compact, this bracelet compact came in a fitted presentation box with a picture of Josephine Baker. I think everyone knows who Josephine Baker was, but anyway, in 1934, she starred in a movie called Zuzu, a French film. She was the first Black woman to play the leading role in a major motion picture. This was released in conjunction with that film. Bakelite and metal. It is very, very yummy. And you could even take your compact and you could install it in your car. This is an Elgin American automobile vanity. Now, when people first started ordering cars, okay, cars didn't have windshields. So you got a lot of wind. People had to repair their makeup, fix their face, get the dirt off. You could order your car with a vanity case in it, all custom made. This is an aftermarket. You could buy this, you could screw it in, you can see the little screws into your car, lift it up, you can see the powder, the rouge, lipstick. If you look, there's a space on the top left for cigarettes and on the right for your matches, and there's even a stripe box. They thought of everything. As we're talking about repairing their makeup, let's talk Art Deco makeup trends and packaging. The packaging at that time was designed to attract consumers, to enhance the product's allure. Oops, got a little ahead here. All righty, here we go. This is a Vogue magazine cover from 1926. And again, it's a woman looking in the mirror. She's doing her self-expression. She's putting on lipstick. It's a bold lipstick. We know that makeup styles were bold lips, dark eyes, and bold eyes, and distinctive geometric shapes that are emblematic of Art Deco glamour. This Vogue cover from 1929 was done by Eduardo Garcia Benito, and he did numerous Vogue covers, an exquisite artist. And this is the look right here of that time. Dark eyes, bold lips, love the cheeks. Colors were rich and vivid. They really complemented the fashions of that time. Eyes were it. And this is actually a little booklet on eyes. I was kind of disappointed when I opened it up because it didn't show me how to do eyeshadow or anything, but it told me that I needed eyeshadow and I needed a Cosmetique, which is mascara, and a liner. And I needed eye drops to whiten my eyes and a cream to get rid of the wrinkles and something else too, so I wouldn't look so tired. And it had about 11 products for the eyes. And this was in 1931. So cross marketing was happening at that time, but the graphic is stunning. Now, another brochure from this time was made by Elizabeth Arden, and it was called Your Color Scheme Complete. It was a 4-page booklet. And if you look at the woman in the red top, okay, and then if you look down, you'll see it says powder is Rochelle, rouge is medium amaretto, lipstick is Chariot. We know the eyeshadow is bronze, and the cosmetique is dark brown. Hmm. Well, let me open it and show you. There's a wheel behind here. And see this little on the right, you see that little white? You turn the wheel. If you're going to wear purple, if you're going to wear green, you dial and it'll tell you the exact colors you need to wear. This brochure was made for Elizabeth Arden by the North American Society of Arts, Inc., New York, 1931. This was made. Okay. I'm a pretty good Googler. For years, I've been trying to find out about the North American Society of Arts. If anyone knows, shoot me an email. I would love to know more about them, but I do know they were artists. And Miss Arden gave you all the information you needed with the fashions of that time to make sure that you were perfectly together. I did not take this apart, but I kind of built the wheel back because I wanted you to see the graphics that were inside it. And you can see the little squares and you truly spin the wheel. Okay, forget Color Me Beautiful. This was color by number right here. Amazing. 1931. And then you could buy your items in cases such as this. You could even have a lipstick, enameled lipsticks, enameled compacts to go with them. Princess Pat, which was a very popular line, sold in lots of drugstores, but very, very popular. You could buy a 6-piece set of lip rouge for 63 cents. This is another Chicago company. Here is a powder box from Portugal. Aileen. Aileen was a line that was started in about 1918. At the beginning of the company, they sold most of their products in France, and this is a French ad. You can see we've got the lady in the fur and looking at the mirror, and she's just looking long and lean and dynamic. And it's just a wonderful presentation for the powder box and the ad to show what they were doing at that time. This little bitty rouge for Leodana was a poppy rouge, and you can see here what a deep red poppy it was. And you take the little puff, and you saw the all the magazine ads, you just have those rosy cheeks. This is a rouge pot that opens on a hinge. It's got an Egyptian motif. It is molded check glass. It's about 1¼ inches in diameter, very tiny. Don't need a lot of your rouge. It is possible the molded glass part of the rouge is by the Niger brothers. We're not sure, they didn't sign it, but there's other of their items that resemble this. Here we have 2 rouge pots from the Aladdin company. They're figural compacts, meaning, I mean, it is in a shape. You've got a lady and you've got a Perot over here. They were hand decorated porcelain pieces, a mirror, rouge, and a puff, and they were not quite 3 inches tall. You could also have your makeup and a metal box. The Weidlich brothers made these metal beauty boxes that sat on your dressing table with rouge and powder and lipstick and eyeshadow. Here's a beautiful little Scotty dog. I'm going to show you this Deco stylized woman on another Weidlich box. Stunning, showing that whole reaching out speed, get going. It reminds me of the statues at Fair Park in Dallas. I mean, it's just like it. And when we talk about speed, not just automobiles, but airplanes. The Wadlich brothers made an airplane beauty box. It's even got the woman flying it on the very top. As you can see, these beauty products all have little points of detail. What about this blue camel lipstick? Look at the lines of the blue enamel on the corners. It's a beautiful finished black brass lipstick. Simply says London, Detroit, and Paris. That's all we know about it, but it's very exquisite. You know, they still sell Art Deco type compacts today. In fact, in the 60s, Revlon did the Sphinx lipstick doll. It came out when the movie Cleopatra came out. They made other lipstick dolls in various forms. This doll had nothing to do with the movie, but it was one of their best selling lipstick dolls. Sphinx are always popular. Or you could have Looking Glass lipstick. This is a patented lipstick with rhinestones. It's got jewels on it. When you push the rhinestones away, the mirror popped up. So you can get new glamour on your lipsticks. And if you prefer gemstones to rhinestones, you could carry your favorite shade in this 1930s platinum sapphire diamond trimmed lipstick case by Van Cleef and Arpels. We've seen a lot of treasures. How do you get started collecting and preserving Art Deco vanity items today? Well, if we talk about how to get started, you need to educate yourself about compacts and vanity items. You need to go hunting for them. If you went to the McLean Antique Show last week, I am sure you saw compacts. You may not have noticed them, they were in jewelry cases, but that's where you find a lot of them. What should you buy and how do you care for your compacts? So, how do you learn? Join a collecting club, IPBA. Go to conventions. Our next one's in Chicago next April. Read books about compacts. There are quite a few books on compacts. Go to antique shows, and when you go, ask questions. Also, I want to point out at this point, when I said join a collecting club, I know we have members tonight of the International Coalition of Art Deco Societies. And they just recently hosted a centenary celebration of Art Deco in Paris. And if you're interested, go to, I believe it's www.icads.org because some fascinating material and information. Where do you hunt for? Oh, perfume bottles and compacts, perfume bottle conventions, auctions, Etsy, Ruby Lane, antique malls, estate sales. At the end, I have friends and relatives. Never count your friends and relatives out. I've gotten some exquisite ones from people who were happy to be rid of them, and I was happy to have them. What should you buy? Buy compacts in good condition, like Antiques Roadshow, condition, condition, condition. I will have to say, though, Enamel is very fragile. If it was cold enamel, it tends to flake. Okay. If it was fired kiln enamel, it's a little bit more durable. So I have bought a few that were a little bit damaged and kind of put them and waiting to see if I can find something even better. Buy what you like. Buy what pleases you. It makes you smile. Will it thrill you tomorrow? Will it distress you if it gets away? How do you care for your compacts? Proper cleansing, no harsh chemicals. These are 100 years old. Use a soft cloth. I like a microfiber cloth. Sometimes just a quick little bath with the microfiber is all they need to retain some of their former glory. Gentle handling. I always have a towel down because of the enamel. I don't want to have it hit the counter and flake off. Don't store these in plastic. Bakelite, celluloid don't react well to plastic. How do you display them? You can do display stands. You can put them in cases. The cases are nice. You can really see them. Whatever you want to do with them. Bottom line, we've been celebrating Art Deco glamour. Art Deco compacts, vanity items, and makeup reflect a timeless elegance and an innovative spirit. This elegance transcends time and trends. The innovative designs of Art Deco makeup items, they highlight creativity and craftsmanship. Collectors and designers continue to find inspiration in the glamour and artistry of Art Deco pieces. Their beauty continues to inspire collectors and designers in preserving the glamour of a remarkable era. And with that, I want to say in appreciation, we want to the IPBA and our board of directors, want to thank the Art Deco Society of Washington and all of our members who helped create this program. Without their donations, photographs, suggestions for content, technical assistance, this production would not have been possible. And here are our individual thank yous. Isabel Yerger, Ken Leach, and Armando Grano with Perfume Bottles Auction, the Perfume Passage Foundation with Jeffrey and Rusty Sanfilippo, Andrew Barrett, Helen and Craig Farnsworth, Howard Milton, Rosalind Palmer, Carl Ann Matz, Jennifer Whitehair and her fabulous handbags, and Conrad and her fabulous things, Alfonso Olivieri and Terry Worth. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure tonight.
Well, Terry, that was an amazing presentation, and I know that all of our attendees and those who'll be watching the recording learned a lot and no doubt were astonished by the vast collection of different items. I mean, I'm not speechless, but it was a lot, and I really appreciate. I really appreciate all of the in-depth research that you provided, and I really liked how you connected it to architecture, advertising, and just practical daily use. So kudos to you and all of your hard work. It was fantastic, and we at the Art Deco Society really appreciate all of your efforts and all of the members of the IPBA who contributed to this, incredible endeavor. So, I,
Our pleasure.
oh yeah, great. I mean, really, it was fantastic. I'm gonna check. Let's see. Someone said you look fabulous. That was Kathy Dunn.
And I'm
Uh,
wearing Harley. Harley is actually, there's a set of Mess compacts, and they're kind of my trademark. And this
oh,
is a
okay.
pin that's
Okay.
made like the compact. So I'm wearing one of my compacts, or as jewelry. It is a piece of jewelry.
Oh, fantastic.
So Harley says hi to all of you because
Okay.
it's a Harlequin compact.
Ah. Someone asked, can you add the FMV for these compacts? I'm not sure what FMV is. Oh, fair market value. Sorry.
Uh,
Okay,
You
sorry.
know what? At the IPBA, we do not give values, just because the market and whatever, and people ask us all the time. A good rule of thumb, I mean, go into eBay and see if you see any. If you don't really see it, it may be pretty rare. Okay. Go into Etsy, tons of compacts on Etsy. Ruby Lane, kind of see what they're selling for. So you get a good idea. I gotta tell you, the American compact makers were proliferate. I mean, they made so many compacts. You don't know how many. I probably took out 25 slides
Mm,
just
okay.
trying to keep some in. So a lot of it is what you want to collect. Novelty compacts don't always, I showed you some very inexpensive ones, but they were beautiful.
Hmm.
When I look at the palm olive ones, the soap people, I mean, I would have those in my collection.
Hmm.
I think I do. So find what you like. I mean, do you like Egyptian? Do you like flowers? Do you like or a maker? I mean, the J.M. Fisher, I mean, but they're really hard to find.
Mm.
But that's the nice thing when you get in with a collecting club and get to know people like, oh, I found something. Are you interested? And you're like, sure.
Well, now that everyone knows, you know, about the IPBA, hopefully they'll head to your website and reach out, join, and you get some more information.
If you're going to our website, we have a virtual museum with over 11,000 items of everything. But we have some open areas. In one area, it's a perfume fantasy theme, is what we call it. Like there's an Egyptian theme, and there's a winter theme, and we just did one on pearls. And we have a theme of traveling India. And you can get into those. We doesn't give you all the information about the compact, but it's a good way to look. You'll see perfume bottles, compacts, lipsticks, ephemera, which is the advertising. So that's the area, and I go in there just to look sometimes for inspiration.
Hmm. Okay, well that's a very good tip. Thank you. Let's see.
www.perfumebottles.org.
Okay, maybe I'll put that in the chat. Let's see.
I could have done that.
Let's see. For those who want to learn more, are there any museums or exhibits in the Washington, D.C. area or East Coast that feature these pieces?
Doesn't the Hillwood Museum have some compacts? Is it the
That's a
Hillwood?
good. Yeah, they might. They might. Maybe.
They did a vanity book on the ladies' dressing table, and I want to say they did, but it's been a while
Okay.
since I um somebody help me IPVA in the chat in that area. Um the Smithsonian has a lot of cosmetics, but so many of them aren't on display.
Mm. So maybe unless they had like a special exhibit,
Mm-hmm.
might not have.
Check for exhibits. Um, as for everything now has gone virtual. I mean, I will say the Perfume Passage is a private museum out of Chicago, and you have to make an appointment, and they are continuing adding to their collection. They are avid collectors, and it is stunning to go in and see what they have. As far as perfume bottle museums on the West Coast, there used to be the Annette Green, and I think that one now is in storage. Kathy, is it? Let me think. But I mean, right now there's not. There was an exhibit on purses in Fort Wayne recently. So if you do auctions and different museums, you can see what exhibits are going on.
Right. Yeah, I guess just a basic Google search would, show
Hmm.
if there's anything.
Sure.
I put the perfumebottles.org website in the chat, so if
Thank
anyone
you.
wants to copy that. Let's see. Joanne Cameron. You know what? I'll send this message to you. It's more of a direct
Okay.
message to you. Uh, who is the we that has this room of compacts that we can see?
Who has what?
Who is you said that there was a room of compacts. I guess they're wondering who that is. I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about the website.
We on the website we do have compacts, and you would
Okay.
find them in those fantasy themes. Perfume Passage has a lot of compacts. They
Okay.
have a woman's beauty bar.
Yeah, and their
That's
website has a lot of nice stuff, and I think there's some YouTube videos, and they have a very nice blog uh,
correct.
that
Correct.
is very informative that you can follow. Uh,
sign up for their newsletter.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, check our Instagram or and Facebook page because they are always posting different things.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. It says the chat is disabled. Okay. Let me put that answer here. Sorry. Let's see. Perfumebottles.org. Hopefully that'll show. Perfume.
I heard my phone beep, so I didn't know if someone was beeping me.
All right. So I have a question. Do you know if any of these companies that are still in existence, have they reissued versions of, like contemporary versions, or just reissued some of the
You
compacts,
know,
perfume bottles, or vanity items from the past? Kind of as
in
like a,
in the years I've been in cosmetics, I mean, like a Debbie Palmer came and did compacts. Estee Lauder still does metal compacts, and they still do the solid compacts that are the figural.
hmm
And so they're a really good source. They've done, Judith Lieber. I mean, and there are Art Deco shapes in there. I recently just got something from some beauty RMS. I think they have done a compact that's like a wearable compact.
hmm
So it's something. Google it because I'm right now not really most things, and we said that today. Most things now they're plastic. They're not elegant. They break. You know, um, it's hard to find a good compact. So I really don't know where to send you.
Yeah, and I guess back when these compacts were being made, you could buy the refills,
Correct. You
and now
could,
that's
but on the loose powder ones, you can put powder in there and you could still use them.
right, right. That makes sense. Um, let's see. I'll just double check see if there's any more questions. I think you've given us so much, information and, shared resources of where to find additional, information. I think I don't want to keep you any longer than is necessary, but, I really, really appreciate, all of your hard work, and you can tell that this has been a labor of love for you,
Uh,
and we've all benefited. So, um, I extend, on behalf of the Art Deco Society, our extreme gratitude for you, presenting such a wonderful program. And hopefully we'll see you again because there's,
Okay.
you know,
All righty. I want you all to dream of sugar plums and compacts dancing in your sleep tonight.
all right. Well, you take care,
Thank
Terry, and
you. I
thanks
appreciate it.
everyone for attending. And we'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
All
Bye.
righty. Bye-bye.